Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. Owen Schroyer here filling in for Alex. Now, we've got breaking news coming down the pipeline right now. We're about to be joined by Alex Jones. Of course, the backdrop for all of this is the Russian collusion investigation falling apart, Trump standing up for America at the G7, and then Italy and Japan joining him in his call for Russia to join back into the G7. You've got breaking news with the Bilderberg Group, but we've got news coming from Alex Jones right now. Let's go out to Alex on the phone lines. Alex Jones, what is breaking?
All right, I'm going to take over right here, and I'm going to try to be as calm as I can, as I've got 4 pages of notes. So I'm here, ladies and gentlemen, covering undoubtedly some of the most dangerous information I've ever covered on air. There's a reason they want to shut down InfoWars, and it's because they know that we're able to put out countervailing narratives to what they officially said. Anthony Bourdain, Tony Bourdain, is one of the most popular TV hosts in the world. He's the only successful thing on CNN. He dominated Netflix. He has a little 9-year-old daughter. He just got remarried. And then he dies in a crappy hotel room in Paris. And CNN's Brian Stelter is the first to tell us that he died of suicide, hanging himself. Now, I knew he'd been critical of Hillary. Said that, that she shouldn't have basically defended Weinstein. Said it was shameful. I knew he joked about feeding Trump hemlock. And I thought, a lot of these rich, powerful Hollywood folks commit suicide. Maybe he did commit suicide. But I said the fact that he had a lot of powerful enemies, it should at least be investigated. I said that in a tweet. I got a call from my source who is even willing for me to now say who he is, but he was very emotional, and he'd already let me in on this a few months ago, and he's actually even already talked about this on air, but I'm just not going to do that at this point, and I'm going to shoot an HD report as soon as I'm done here, and I'm going to then reach out to some other people, but here's the bottom line. I was told several months ago that a bunch of other big people are going to start going public. And then, of course, you saw Kanye. And then a few weeks ago, we said that even more big cultural icons, some of the biggest ones in media, some of the biggest people in culture, were going to be going public. And so this morning when I woke up and I had seen that Tony Bourdain had committed suicide, supposedly, I went, what is it about that? What was it in the news? So I was sitting there search engineering for like an hour. Well, what was it? Why was I thinking about Bourdain? And then all of a sudden the producer calls me about an hour ago and said, right after I got off air with you guys, and said, you have got to call this source. He's really upset right now. And I went, oh my gosh, he's talked about it on air. Ladies and gentlemen, Bourdain was a powerful cultural figure, and Bourdain had learned about the big awakening that was happening, and he had met with Elon Musk, who he's already very good friends with, in Morocco, in Marrakesh, at a big solar farm, experimental farm, and I'll just leave it at that. And they had taped an 11.5-minute episode of the upcoming TV series that he was wrapping up in Paris. This is 2 months ago. Nobody knows this, and I'm laying these facts out so people understand. He was in Morocco on a big vista at a wind farm. I'm going to leave it at that. I've talked to folks that were there. In fact, I've been authorized to even tell you more. Maybe I just should, but I'm going to stop right there for now. And Musk and them had a Kanye West event, and Bourdain was planning to basically do a Kanye West, but just about the whole global awakening, everything that was about to happen. And it's believed that this is a message directly to Elon Musk, who's been coming out talking about the mainstream media, the globalist, how they're planning an AI technocracy takeover. And so I can tell you, without getting into too much specifics, but I've specifically been on the phone with SpaceX and individuals at the center of the Musk operation in the last hour. So I'm authorized to say that at this point. And I told folks, I said, we have to go public with part of this. We're all in danger. And there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes, some sabotage and stuff going on as well that we've become aware of, even inside InfoWars right now. They're making big moves right now, ladies and gentlemen. And I want everybody to understand that this is real. This is for all the marbles. And it is just unbelievable. I mean, I've got like 5-6 pages of notes here. It is also believed that just like with Stanley Kubrick dying, and I know his daughter well, his protege, right before they were going to have the final cut of Eyes Wide Shut, they cut 24 minutes out. It's the same thing here. The CNN and then the parent company that sold it to him, his company, they're now looking for pressure from the 0.0 company to not release the new series, but to make it a retrospective, looking back on Bourdain. Also, they do not have to release not just this episode, but once he decided to do this with Elon Musk, this was 2 months ago, they shot dozens and dozens of other segments that he then began working in the whole awakening around the world, and Bourdain had decided to go the Kanye West route. And that is 100% from people there with him, meeting with him, Elon Musk, whole 9 yards. Elon Musk is in complete danger right now. Again, if he hangs himself, it's murder, ladies and gentlemen. Or if his jet crashes, it's murder. Everybody can feel the energy of awakening. People are pulling out of globalism everywhere. The Bilderberg Group's meeting in Italy right now. The Pope has sent his emissaries. This is so incredible. And again, the media will spin it and say, or try to ignore it probably and say, oh, Jones claims, that Musk was murdered. Oh, look, here's Jones again. Not Musk. Jones will say that Tony, has been murdered. Bourdain. This is how they operate, and it is just insane to be here at this moment. My wife just walked in here. Honey, I just got contact from SpaceX. Just talked to them all on the phone. They definitely killed Tony Bourdain. That's what they think, and they messaged to Musk. He was going to go public by Kanye West. You believe this? My wife just walked in the hotel room. Anyways, I've got to work all day now. It is just unbelievable. And, I mean, that's where we are as a country. It's where we are as a world. This is a big message. Everybody shut your mouth or you're dead. And this is them coming out of the woodwork. They can't kill Trump, so they did the next best thing. And, I mean, just think about it. 61, just remarried, totally happy, 9-year-old daughter, little daughter. And that's what's going on. And people's families are being threatened. All this stuff is going on. But evil is in its death throes right now. And this evil satanic system, I was also told, is scared of anybody who is seen as outside the system or seen as like a world traveler or seen as an independent type guru, okay? They don't like Musk. They totally hate him. Those who's exposing the AI computers, the world government, how the globalists worship AI. I told you that, in Endgame. That's really what they believe. They didn't like the way Tony was going, talking about the Clintons and others. I talked to folks that, again, are friends with him, spent a lot of time with him. Him and Musk have gotten very, very close. They've been friends for years. And he wasn't, quote, having any of it. And a lot of this is classified. A lot of this stuff's secret. So I couldn't even be told all of it. But I was already aware of the meeting. I was already aware of the fact that this production was coming out from Morocco, from Marrakesh. And so this is just unprecedented. He was about to be part of the bigger plan. And so they're very upset about what is in these episodes, not just the one with Elon 2 months ago in Marrakesh, Morocco, but whatever got kicked off after that and what Bourdain was saying that he was going to do. And the fact that he had been coming out against Weinstein and the Clintons, they saw him as too powerful and off the reservation. And again, it's just completely out of context for him to die like this and for them to instantly say it's a suicide, no investigation. We're going to go to break here in a few minutes. Also, Joe Rogan was brought up. I like Joe. I'm real busy. I see some of his podcasts. I hear some of them. Clear, ladies and gentlemen. I was told by sources involved with SpaceX and Elon Musk, very high level, people that work directly with Musk on a routine basis, that he was out quietly as an emissary trying to get other people to go public like Kanye West did, and Kim Kardashian. All these other people realize the power they have as these reality TV stars and hip-hop stars. And Bourdain had basically been gotten on board and had this, they were, he's already really good friends with Elon Musk, and that this basically happened. And I also can tell everybody that 0.0 and the companies and CNN, if any of them want to say this isn't true, or if any of them think they're going to edit anything and stop what we're doing, folks have the 11-minute, 50-second, or whatever it is, clip. It's 11:50. I said 11:30 earlier. We have the clip. We have the approved segment with Elon Musk and with Mr. Bourdain and the Kanye West awakening and the Kanye West type statements. The bigger plan is talked about. Space travel, a future for humans, not a post-industrial world, not a technotronic microchip planet, not the worshiping of the AI gods, but humanity going to the next level. So go ahead and do anything to our sources, do anything to me, and it will be released. That's a little tidbit. I've got like 5 more pages here. And quite frankly, I hand wrote these. I need to go type them up. I need to really think about this. I need to get this out. But as soon as I hung the phone up, I called in and commandeered the program because this is huge. And again, I'm not 100% saying he was killed. I'm saying smart people that are friends with him say he was happy, he was great, he was looking forward to his life. He said he was the happiest ever. He was doing jiu-jitsu, he was working out. He said he was just, Bourdain said decades ago he was bummed out and unhappy and was unhealthy. He said now he was just super healthy, lost all this weight, was totally happy, just remarried. And they said that they believe that he was killed as a message to Elon Musk and to everybody else in the whole Kanye West awakening movement. You come out, we're going to kill you. So it is believed that he was killed. And boy, I tell you, just like Jim Morrison, right there in that hotel room in some grungy crap hole place, hanging himself, supposedly leaving his 9-year-old daughter behind, and all the rest of that. Who believes this? Who believes any of this? It's so classic for people to come into your hotel room, hang your ass, and just kill you. But you know what? You're not going to stop, because culture will speak, and people are really going to want to know what happened here. Just take Joan Rivers, what she said about the First Lady, and the fact that she's got shoulders like a linebacker, and all the rest of it. And think about how she was dead right after that. The whole point is these people don't play games. And they think that they're going to intimidate everybody, and they're so afraid. It's like Obama's on record, Drudge Report linked to our story, calling up Jay-Z and saying, you get to every hip-hop rapper, music person and you tell them, do not go to Trump. Do not meet with Trump. Do not do this. We control culture. This is about Hollywood propping up its control of culture. And so that's what's going on here. Anthony Bourdain was about to go public. It was about to join in the huge global awakening and the bigger plan, and now he's dead, and we're supposed to not talk about it or discuss it. We're supposed to just accept what Brian Stelter says. Well, CNN, you don't own Mr. Bourdain, and the truth's coming out. So, if you work with Elon Musk at the highest levels, and you shoot a TV show with him and Anthony Bourdain 2 months ago, and Bourdain, who's really close friends, you could say almost best friends with Elon Musk, or was. He died, we're told, by suicide just instantly. That's the news. Open and shut, go back to sleep. Nothing to see here, move along. And then I sit there and I talk to someone that told me Bourdain was going to be going public and told me this Elon Musk information was going to come out, where they sit there in Marrakesh talking about the future at a solar farm, and how they talk about how There's a choice of whether humanity is going to go into the future and we're going to build a world for humanity, or whether we're going to build one for the machines. And the top technocrats have decided to get rid of humanity. And Elon Musk lays it out to Bourdain, as he'd done privately already. And Bourdain has a transformation and an awakening on video. And then he went on to tape dozens of other segments in the next 2 months. But now Bourdain is dead. He had his own production company, 0.0, and now contractually he has the final cut edit. But guess what? Directors always want their final cut, don't they? But just like somebody else had final cut, what was his name? Stanley Kubrick, probably the greatest director ever. And his daughter told me and me alone what really happened to her dad, and I'm sworn to secrecy on it, but I already knew a lot of it. And, you know, she really co-directed some of his last films. And what she told me was what we already know now, don't we? And she told me, she said, the next few years, you're going to become the biggest thing in the news. They're going to try to destroy you. They're going to come after you, but it's not going to work. And I met another lady, a lady worth $4 billion at the time. And she, I'm just going to leave it at that, told me the same thing 6 years ago. These people know a lot, folks, and there's people in the system that are just as smart as we are, or smarter, who don't want to be in the system, but who have been terrorized their entire lives to keep them in this damn cult. So you understand that, ladies and gentlemen, that Kubrick was going to release Eyes Wide Shut and tell you how it really works. But they killed him, and they cut 24 minutes out of it. And ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly where all of this points. When Stanley Kubrick drops dead, and there's no autopsy, or Tony Bourdain drops dead, and we're just told, boom, he's dead, suicide, that's it, case closed. When somebody worth, $100 million like Bourdain, when somebody who's a top culture person, one of the only people in mainstream media that still has any pull, and they're throwing all the other ones overboard like Charlie Rose, and then magically he dies. He's got a 9-year-old daughter and just got remarried, and was told Elon Musk just days ago how happy he was and how it was the best time of his life, and how he felt so good about what they were about to do. You see, the word is Bourdain was inches from going to the White House and actually shaking Trump's hand. But it doesn't matter, we're already winning, aren't we? This is a message to Elon Musk. And I've been told it's a message to Joe Rogan. And I've been told it's a message to me and all of you to shut up and lay down. Well, you know what? Bill Clinton's coming to town Sunday. And Owen Schroyer is going to be out there demonstrating outside, but everybody else is getting their tickets. And you imagine you go in there and you bring up Jerry Epstein, the Lolita Express, and Harvey Weinstein on board. The little kids getting flown in and out. And some of the same islands have the Nexium sex cult brought out to it. One person gets up, they get taken out. Another person gets up, they get taken out. Imagine that happens everywhere. These people need to understand we're ready to do whatever it takes. They keep sending me messages. Hey, we're suing you. Hey, we're coming after you. Hey, we're demonizing you everywhere. Hey, I get it. I've seen the demonic look in your eyes. I've seen the demonic look in your servant's eyes. And I want to be all the way away from you. There's a very powerful Ben Garrison piece that he just did about Bernie Sanders, and he took the Bernie Sanders minion and perfectly put him into cartoon form with this crazy cult-like stare the guy's got sitting there in my face, and turned it into a poster, turned it into an image, and we can pull that up. But I'm telling you, when you look in the eyes of these people, and they're giggling and they're laughing as a minion, but above them is the cold, dark, steely, frozen hatred of someone who wants to dominate you with their will and who has sworn themselves to evil and turned themselves over to it, you realize you are dealing with pure Satanism. And people like Bourdain and Kanye and others who aren't inherently evil but have been around these elites, they know they don't want to be with Jay-Z and Hillary. They know they don't want to be with these people. They know as it comes down to the wire of 5G and planetary sterilization and half the population dying of cancer, they know that it's time to fight back and to live. Their life force is coming back. It's always darkest right before the dawn. And I'm going to collect myself and get all these documents together, because this is history happening. Just like Hillary called me the dark heart, just like we helped all of us together re-engineer the reboot of 1776. We don't act like we're important, but all of us are important. So, of course, I get the phone call to know what's really going on. And I would advise Elon Musk, as he's already done, to go public about how the media is controlled and has disdain and hates us, and about the AI gods and the plan for exterminism and all the things he's already said. Elon has to go public right now with everything, or they'll continue to manipulate his stock down. Soros will buy it all up, as he's already trying to do, in a hostile takeover. And they will end up killing Elon. So when they kill Elon Musk, the South African super engineer, because he was pro-human, just remember that they'll tell you it was suicide and no investigation, just like everybody else. Because as we are currently speaking, they're sending a message to him, and if he cowers, they'll kill him for sure. If he stands, he will win. They probably won't kill him, but regardless, humanity will make it. All of us have to make that decision now. But they were never going to let Bourdain, their prize, because he had some soul, he had some humanity. He wasn't one of the dead mummies, but he was still a modern leftist. They can't have one of their prized weapons fall into humanity's hands. And so, like an old warship that they don't want to send back out to sea, they blew it up in the harbor. Like an old cannon you spike so it'll never fire again. Or an old sword you break. That's what they did. I mean, that's way more plausible than, oh, he just committed suicide at the top of his career at 61 with a 9-year-old daughter, just remarried, totally happy. Telling people he'd never been happier. I mean, I talk to folks that, hang out with him, that drink with him, everything. They say, no way. And I've got all these other notes here. Who is killing the culture? Kate Spade and her billions magically dead. And if it isn't suicide, why is mental illness spreading? Why is suicide up everywhere? The more TV we watch, the more smartphones, the more Prozac we take. Going down that angle, what's this spirit? There's an awakening right now, ladies and gentlemen. Trump just came out and said, we should meet with the Russians. This is insane. Why aren't they in the G7 anymore? Why would we kick them out? It should be the G8. It's all happening. Sanity's coming back into the world. I've also been told we should look at Trump at the FEMA meeting yesterday when he takes his water bottle off the table and puts it between his legs and then looks at Pence, and Pence does the same thing as a signal. That's a classified signal. And I've not even been able to, I can't be told what the signal is, but it deals with the whole child trafficking and the fact that the whole thing's going down. That was a signal to people in the Pentagon. What Trump did at that FEMA meeting yesterday when he takes the water bottle off the table. Folks want you to know that as well. It looks at Pence and he does it. Open and shut, found dead. As he's found dead, we're told open and shut suicide. Nothing to see here. Go away. So famous in Hollywood where they kill famous people to get the insurance money, you name it. We're just told don't question. I'll have another big report on this coming out at Infowars.com very soon. God bless.